Now get a read on all the themes set to drive markets this week. Pete McGuire from XM joins us now live. Pete, great to have you on a Monday morning as always. Were you trading that inflation data when it comes to the Kiwi dollar?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been a nice push up, and good morning, Kara. Certainly has, and inflation is on everyone's radar this week. It's a hot topic and it just seems to be galloping ahead and very hard to contain, as we all know, through the spending of what we need to earn to match what our prior expenses were. And there's no doubt that Kiwi's back above 70. We've had a nice lift also. The Aussie and all of the number of the currencies have had a little bit of a push up, though that US dollar's come off just a fraction.
Yeah, where else are we expecting inflation data this week?
We've got Japan, UK. I'm just remembering this. I just wrote it down. Japan, UK, Kiwi, and Canada. So there's the storyline, and it really is. It's a bit of I think, a wake-up call. Now, what's going to be interesting, do we see a rate rise coming out of the Kiwi land in November? That'll be the second one within a matter of 2 months. And that gives us all, I think, an indication where 22 or 23 play, and certainly domestically here in Australia. Another thing that's caught my eye very much is, that strong booming commodity sector, energy prices, food prices, and have a look at the base metals. And that really is an impact to, again, the consumer. Copper's up the best part of 10% in the week and a half, so everything's booming.
Yeah, are you surprised? I guess it's no surprise given that backdrop that the Australian dollar is holding fairly steady above that 74 handle.
Yeah, exactly. We're at 74 and a bit, so there might, though I'm curious to see what happens as far as China this week and that Evergrande story. Like it or not, it certainly hasn't gone away, and that really creates, I think, an issue for our Aussie dollar here. Maybe 74.30, 74.40 could be the high for the week. It's just under that. We'll just have to wait and see. But the magnitude, and this really is a realisation as far as the depth of the Chinese property market, valued at about $62 trillion. Kara, there is $11 trillion of inventory that hasn't been sold. That's trillion with a T.
Yeah, it's pretty big, isn't it? We're also expecting Chinese GDP data this morning. Yep. Could it move markets?
Well, I think it can. That's the reality check, what we might see. That's why I'm saying that Aussie could come under a little bit of pressure. We're all just sitting here waiting for, the data to drop. It's a big week of data, and we've had a nice push up over the last couple of days as far as equity markets. That really was, Wednesday night US, Thursday, Friday was nice. It was a nice runoff in the sense the Dow was up 1.1% on Friday. So that was a good push up. And we might see a little bit further, a nice start to our market. And the overall thoughts are that there's, mixed camps. Where do we see inflation? What's the storyline there? Supply chain issues. And that's, you see those ships off the coast of Long Beach in California, and what impact it's going to have to the chip industry, Taiwan, geopolitics. It's a big world at the moment, and there's a lot of moving parts really creating much angst, not only to the consumer, but certainly the price of things. Have a look at the Baltic Dry Freight Index to start with. Things have got to be shipped all over the world, and the costs are just, blowing out.
So how are you trading crude oil at the moment then, Pete? I mean, it feels like it's can't stop, won't stop.
That finger is pushing it higher. It's beyond, I think, everyone's expectation. Many traders were looking at a $60 handle come November. This is going back a few months ago, and there was a lot of concern. Here we are, Brent's sitting at just on 85. We've got WTI at 82 and a quarter. So there's every chance you could see it push up even further from here. A number of the big banks are saying, US banks and global forecasters, that are hundreds on the forecast, and you could see a 90 handle very shortly. Yeah, why can't you at $85 for Brent? It may just, get there at 90. So there's, again, the inflation story. There, again, is the concern to the consumer. Everyone's got to, I think, realise, how do we go as far as employment, and how do we go as far as keeping up with those costs? That's really a concern to the consumer globally.
All right, well, a big week, Pete. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Kara. Take care.